Hi, beautiful Pisces. Welcome to a new era. My name is Emma. Pisces, I've been away for 4 weeks, a little over 4 weeks now, and I'm so super excited to be back. A few things has happened to me, through me, during those 4 weeks, and definitely prior to them as well. But it has become very clear that we're more and more coming into this place, and you can just skip this intro if you want to. I think it's interesting, so I think you should listen. But if you want to go straight to your reading, just look for when I start to shuffle. I feel like more and more we're coming into this place where we're getting to uncover or discover or unveil our true beingness, which means that our formed, put on identity that we have sort of gathered along the years, like we were born, and then we have through various encounters with people and situations, we have made up this, we call it a makeup, this identity, this so-called identity. So me, Emma, I have this identity. But if I start to sort of peel away certain things about me, at the very core of it, I probably will find somebody completely different. Or just an enhanced being of love and beauty and freedom, joy. And so with that said, and I'm getting sort of called to start to share a bit of different messages that I haven't been called to share with this particular channel just yet. But what I'm feeling right now is that instead of, okay, long story short, what we can start to do to help open up this identity of our own, of ourselves, of our individual self, if it resonates with you, obviously, is to, instead of saying I am a Pisces or I'm a Pisces sun or moon or rising or whatever, to start to look into what more you are. So you're not just Pisces. And even though you are like really like looked into this, you understand that you have your moon in whatever, your sun in whatever, your Mars in whatever, like in your chart, this is how it looks. And nowhere to be found is Virgo. But there's the Virgo reading, and there's something about the Virgo reading that just stands out to you. But since you're not one of these in your chart, you're not going to check it out. So I'm just asking to sort of go with what feels good, even, or sort of scroll through and it doesn't have to be just my channel, but I'm very focused on doing this now to open up all the zodiac signs to the collective. So it could be like, even though I do an Aries reading or a Pisces reading, I could name it a reading for the collective because it would fit all. Because that's what it feels like it does now. And I started to move into that just before I went on vacation as well. It felt like it more and more turned into a collective reading. So still use like whatever you feel drawn to. I understand that you don't have time to watch 12 signs, and maybe then you have other readers to watch, and then you need to go to the bathroom. You have stuff to do. I understand that. So just week by week, if you're really into these readings, just look for what you're interested in. Look for what you resonate with. And it doesn't stop here with the readings. It's like right now, look for in your life around you what you're called towards. Because I feel like it's more and more going from a very individual, like separate Vogue thing. It's not just all about Madonna, okay? It's about all of us. Madonna might think it's just about her, but it's about the rest of us as well. And I feel like more and more we're coming from a very individualized place that goes more and more into sort of a collective place. It's like we're becoming one, very much one in this new dimension. So with that said, and if it doesn't resonate, like I said, just leave it. But with that said, for the collective Pisces, let's see what's going on for you. So can we give Pisces what serves them most right now? And I've set the time frame for all of August and a little bit into September. So it's a month from now. Pisces. Wisdom. I don't need to tell you anybody. I don't need to tell you any. I don't have to tell you anything because you already know. Wow. 9, 9, and 5. So we're starting with this wisdom card. Like I said, I don't have to tell you about anything, but the wisdom card is basically about when you, and this is not about being smart, it's not about being clever, it's not about, you know, your college degree or anything like that. Wisdom comes from life experience. Wisdom comes from when you're starting to get awakened, when you start to be aware of that you're aware and things like that. I just feel like you gathered a lot of information here. You know very clearly who you are, dressed in complete purple there with which for me talks about the spirit, like you're in connection with your inner being for sure on this very spiritual path. What I'm getting with this, because you're holding a red book in your hands, and what I'm getting with that is that there's a new foundation that wants to be implemented, not so much introduced, because I feel like we all innately have this within us, like we all innately feel this shift that is going on right now, at least if you've chosen the more awakened path. It's like you innately know, you have these triggers and these insights and these like within you, so you don't have to be introduced to it, right? If you missed the introduction, if you missed the information, there's no ascension for you, like bye-bye. No, of course not. So it's inside of you somewhere already, and therefore it's also inside of everybody already. However, there's something about the implementing of it. I was almost gonna call it like the awakening of the awakening, it's like somebody's there, just there to remind you what you already have, and you seem to be that person. You seem to know a lot, and you seem to have a lot of wisdom, and you seem to have some sort of information that you want to share with people. That's sort of going to put, like, it's going to implement a new foundation. We're going to start like coming from a different viewpoint, if you will. And I don't know if you're struggling a little bit, like there's sometimes you know things and you sort of shush. You sort of don't tell people about it. You can sit in I don't know if you're at work or if you're among friends or even with family members or whatever, like you're sitting and you're having a conversation, and the conversation that you're listening into is like, oh, sweet Lord, how we not come further than this? Or it's like people really are trying to make sense of something, and you just sit there with the answer. You just feel, and it's not necessarily that you are like a bank, like a wisdom bank, or like, let me just look through my book here for the answer, like I already have it. It might actually be that you're a channel, like you're just a vessel right now for the answer, for the universe right now to be processed through you. I often feel like I'm that, like I don't know the answer before anybody asks the question, but as the question is being presented to me, there's the answer. So I feel like you work in those ways very much, Pisces, and definitely being a Pisces, as a Pisces collective, like we need Pisces in the collective. Deep feeling, deep knowing, and maybe also just knowing on the spot, like not having the information before the very question is being presented, if that makes sense. But I feel like there's something here, Pisces, where you sort of look at the people and go, I sort of received some kind of answer here now, but I don't know if I want to tell them the answer, if it's the correct time to tell the answer. I don't know if even if it's like for you to interfere with the situation and sort of, well, here's my point of view. So there's something about having all this wisdom, knowing a whole lot of things in a whole lot of situations, and you're deciding on most instances to be quiet about it for whatever reason. Okay, I'm just going to clarify that straight away. Instead of, you also have the Tower here, solitude. and wish fulfillment. 2 number 9 as well, so that's interesting. Can we just clarify the wisdom here before we move on? Why is the wisdom card here for Pisces, please? For the Piscean collective. Yeah. So that's what I thought. That it's more like you have the information, like you are the psychic, you are the channel, you're the vessel for the information in the moment. So like I said, it might not be necessarily that you have all this information. You're not just sitting on this information like a Google library. You're being given the answer in the moment, and that's probably why you feel a little bit hesitant to share it, because you might not, somebody's discussing something and you just feel like, well, I feel like this is the answer, but you might have just been given the answer, so you sort of haven't pondered it yourself, and it's quite nerve-wracking to sort of stand your ground and say, this is what I think, but something that, obviously feel the room, feel the temperature of the room. If you feel like you will feel in your body if it's the correct time to bring some sort of revelation up to people. Where are we? What are we going to do next? Does it help them? Does it serve them to get this information? Was it only for them to post a question and for you to get the information? You will feel when it's the right time. But I just feel like there's times where you could have said something and you've chosen not to because you don't really know where it's going to fall, sort of. So that's a little bit more of not trusting fully to share your wisdom there, Pisces. I just feel, though, that most of the time it could be that you're getting the information in the moment and you haven't had time to ponder it yourself, and therefore you decide not to share it. But you're a little bit of a walking psychic... you could probably answer pretty much everything because you are a channel for the higher power that you very easily allow to come through in any given moment. That's really cool, Pisces. Excuse me. And then because we have 2 number 9s, I feel like these ones really, really, really fit together. So 9 in itself is all about endings, but it's also it's also unconditional. It talks about unconditional love. It talks about unconditional, like you don't need another person to behave in a certain manner for you to be happy. You can choose to be happy anyway. If you need another person to behave in a certain manner for you to be happy, that's conditional. If anybody can act and behave and talk and be exactly who they are, and you're sort of intact within your own energy, that's being unconditional, right? The same thing goes for, I need this thing before I get happy. I need this relationship or car or money, or I need to have my own space, or I need to go for a walk, or I need to talk to this person, or I need to have a certain amount of hours to myself in the day before I can be happy. That's also conditional, because you don't have to. And the catch-22 here, or the paradox here, is that when you don't need to, it shows up. It's fascinating how it works. So, solitude. So this is very much like when the Tower, this card is always, for me, when the Tower moment has already happened. And the Tower moment is just about some big event in your life. And I know Pisces, and it's Pisces that I'm talking to, the Pisces collective that I'm talking to, that, you probably haven't had just one big Tower moment thing happening. You have had multiple things happen in your life where you would consider to be like, this is a bigger event. There's something here that this Tower moment in the past has caused you to ask for. It's like, so you see this book. So she's sitting with this book in front of her, and on one page is blank, and then the other is there's written. It's black. You can see that it's written. So on the blank page there is like, whatever these moments, this moment or these moments of maybe not liking your situation, maybe there's a situation that you want to change, you want to be unconditional about it, you want somebody in your vicinity, like amongst your friends or in your family or like your partner, whatever, work, co-workers, whoever this is, whatever this is, it's like something can happen in your surrounding with certain people. And it's like, because it's interesting. I don't feel like it's about you. Pisces, follow me here. I know I'm a little bit everywhere right now. So I'm going to try to get to the root of this. So it feels like something has happened in the past. And although, of course, it will maybe affect you, there's the unconditioned. It will affect you, which is conditional because it doesn't have to affect you. But for instance, let's say the worst case scenario. My worst case scenario is that I'm finding out the news that my child is seriously injured or has died. Excuse me. I clogged up in my throat. So I'm starting to say that. I think that's probably the worst thing that I could ever get information about. I don't want to ponder on it. It's not a wish to the universe. I'm just saying. So let's ponder the fact that something really major has happened around your child. It might not be around your child, it might be around a friend, about a partner, about, something really big has happened to your child. We would then say it has happened to you, right? It didn't happen to you, it happened to them, but there's a cause and effect. So there's something that you feel affected by because of their accident or whatever has happened. Excuse me. There's something, okay, so there's something that's happened in the past that then triggered you like I would be triggered if I heard my son, let's say my youngest son is seriously injured or he died. I'm not there yet that I would be like, oh, good, circle of life. There he goes, I would have a reaction. I know that. So it feels like that major thing or these major things that has happened, the tower moments that has happened in the past. Vad är det här? Nu kommer lite svenska här. Now the Swedish seeps in when so maybe guys, this is not just mine. It might be something that's going on for you guys with talking about something that you see, telling it like it is, talking about something that you see, or like really stand in your own power about something that you believe in. Let's see if it clears up. If it clears up, that is yours. If it doesn't clear up, it feels like there's a mix here today. It feels like a little bit of it is mine and a little bit actually is yours as well. So there's a feeling here that something that has happened in the past, because it's anchored in, this tower moment is anchored in. So it's like the first time it happened, the first time you heard about it, like it happened. Okay, I'm going to use my son again as an analogy. So when my son was I don't know, it wasn't even a year, he was eight months, I think. He got his first croup. I think it's called croup. It almost wiped me out. Like it almost, like I didn't know what to do with myself. The what you go into when that first time arrived. And then I think you guys know about it. If you're newcomers, you don't know. But not too long ago, a couple of months ago, he had his second run. And now he's over 3 years old. So the difference in being able to sort of talk to him when he was 8 months old and now when he's a little over 3 years old, I could actually coach him through some, if you do this, or if we breathe like this now, or now we're going to go outside, and now, I was more sane also, but it was the second time. So it was still the same horrible thing that happened, but I was in much better shape and much better, so it was still really, really tough, but it wasn't as tough as at first. Are you following this? Maybe you got this like 10 minutes ago. There's something that has happened in your past, and the first time it happened, it shook you to the core. It shifts things inside of you. And then it's like it has repeated. It doesn't happen. It's not yours. It's not you. It's not me that got the croup. It was my son. But I feel affected by it. I feel like I have to step in and do something about it. And there's something here that has brought all this wisdom. It has brought so much wisdom to you. This very thing has brought so much wisdom. Like you've become so much more wise because of it. And it has made you wish for so much more. Like for my son, I would say I wished so much health and so much independence and so much power and strength in that moment. Like there's a wish that clearly goes out when you're under that kind of pressure. And I feel that the same thing has happened for you, where in the moment there's like we've written a history here. We have the history, but it's like now you're coming into this wisdom place, and it feels like recently, like for me, for a couple of months ago or a couple of weeks ago, or it's just about to happen for you guys, that I don't want to scare anybody though. It just feels like there's a pattern here. There's something that it wasn't just a one-time thing. It could have been a one-time thing with that person, but it's like saying, okay, so my youngest son had croup, and then my oldest son got this other thing that was very similar in, so it doesn't have to be a repetitive thing for the exact same person, but it's a repetitive thing for the pattern. Does that make sense? It's like, here we go again with the same story, new person, new face, new name, new situation, new job, but the same incident. But there's something here that, or it's repetitive, or it's like my son having croup for the seventh time, and you just, for the life of you, want to be able to give back the power to the person, to not feel like they're a helpless being that can't take care of themselves, and you just sort of have to, it sort of just really have to affect you, but you stay very strong and calm in the situation, and you give back all the power to the person that it's about. I feel like there's something here that has taken place in the past that shook you in the moment to the core, but now it's like you almost have gotten so used to it, even though it's still horrible, you've gotten used to it, and like the wish you had for the situation is about to come true. There's something that in the run of this situation, or the run of repeating cycles, like I know I've repeated cycles, like I didn't know until I know, you don't know until you know, but you were in the midst of something and you realize, oh my God, I'm doing it again. I'm seeing myself in the same situation again. Like I said, different places, different faces, but it's the same thing again. The solution to it, what you have wished would have happened or should happen instead of what is taking place, or where you just feel like you're giving your power back to the person, which restores your power, is going to start to come true. There's a wish fulfillment here in what you have. It can also be like you could sort of put other words to it and say lesson learned. There's no lessons. Universe is not sending you lessons, but if you know what I mean, it's like, okay, I got it now. I get it. There's not going to be a third, fourth, fifth run of this one. New places, new faces. I see it now. I see what I'm doing. And there's the completement. Can you say that? There's a completion in it for you. And if it's like somebody else that is sort of repeating a pattern, or something else is happening to this person, it's almost like, no, I get it now. I got it. I get it. There's no more codependency. There's no more, I give it back to the person. Like, and I'm just standing here strong, unconditional. I'm going to move into the extension and see what else I can find around this. This was very fascinating, very different from what I've gotten from the other signs. So this was really, really interesting there. Two double nines there as well. So double wish fulfillment. I'm going to see what I find in the extension. If you feel like this is you, yeah, completely resonates with me, then the link to the The link to the extended is in the description box. If not, thank you so much for watching and listening, Pisces. I hope to see you back soon. Bye, guys.